Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. We are back with Pesterquest today. Welcome, Sneak Cat. Welcome, Odd. Welcome, Aleph. Welcome, anyone viewing anonymously. It is Pesterquest time. Oh my god. Y'all are in for such a fucking treat with Jade's route. Oh my god. Wait, turn what? Oh. Y'all, I got my mic blasting as loud as I can. I'm talking at a decent volume. This microphone, which is supposed to be a nice one, has just historically not picked up my any audio very loudly. I don't know. The cord's always been kind of fucked up, so maybe I should just get a new cord. But I got all my shit boosted as loud as I can without it sounding like a bass boosted mess. This root fucks you say like you do about every root. It does though, y'all. Okay, oh yeah, something cursed Steven Universe is ending. True. You're right every time. Yeah, they all fuck. It is all true. So, you managed to avoid spoilers again. Damn, that's fucking impressive. You managed to avoid spoilers every time. And here's how this is relevant to... Here, let me this in chat. Oh shit, let me open my document. I'm so fucking pumped! That's because Homestuck is good. Homestuck is good, actually. You got home from your sister's volleyball game. And you got up exactly 15 minutes before. Ah, beautiful. Gorgeous. Too much shit happens. You don't go through the Homestuck tag. So you get dinner hyperfit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I accidentally spoiled a part of it for myself because I was on Twitter, literally right after it came out because I was sitting in class and I was very bored. Because I have I have a lecture on Wednesdays that goes until 11:30. So... You follow too many people who post playthroughs. Yeah. And so I get that issue on Twitter too. I stay off of it until I play it myself. So this is how it's relevant to Homestuck, okay? So what they're calling this, and this is the Cartoon Network, their official tweet about Steven Universe ending. You don't want to see the discourse. That's also super fucking valid. They're calling it a new epilogue limited series. So they're not calling it season 6. They're calling it an epilogue limited series. And the moment I read epilogue, my brain went, the Steven Universe epilogues, and just my entire being went, no, God, please, no more. So, I think it's fair to say that Homestuck has fucking traumatized me. You followed almost all of them when Longstreet came out, damn. I think I was off Tumblr by then. Most of the rest were the epilogues, yeah. But, yeah, they used the magic word, and my brain just, went into, full-on panic mode, please, God, no more of this. But, it's fucking Steven Universe. Although, there's, folks on the team who got their start on the fucking working with fucking Homestuck. So, but no, I know that Steven Universe isn't gonna pull those. I mean, they can't. They're a children's show. But you're excited for more, but you're glad they're not gonna, drag it out. Yeah, I'm really glad they're gonna give it, a really nice close, a proper send-off, and not, Yeah, basically... Jade, that was basically it. It's just just the very word epilogue sent me into a complete fucking panic state. Yeah, and I'm halfway through Gravity Falls season 2. Let me check. Yeah, I'm just over halfway through Gravity Falls season 2. I'll try to say where I am without spoilers. No, I haven't. My friend, my good pal Noah, who was hanging out with us last weekend, was like, oh my, we were hanging out, and it was like, oh no, oh my god, you haven't seen Gravity Falls? Okay, we're watching the first episode right now. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, fuck, now I have to watch the rest. And I'm watching the rest of it now. I've been meaning to watch it for a long time anyway. That's how we got onto it in the first place. I was like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch that for a long time. So now I'm actually watching it, and it's really good. And I'm on I just watched today season 2, episode 11, which is the one where they reveal the very big secret with the very big machine. And I think that's about as vague as I can be, or as specific as I can be without lots of spoilers. So... yeah, that's where I am. I kind of was spoiled for that particular character already because I remember, like, I was on Tumblr when it was back in the heyday. Like, there were a few things I already kind of remembered and knew about, like this specific character, but, like, not, hyper specific details about the plot and the mystery stuff. So, you know, it's been really good. I've been enjoying it a lot. Cartoons about dealing with trauma. Infinity Train. Yeah, see, that's one that I remember, like, I got notifications when it came out because the same blog I used to follow for Steven Universe episodes, posted Infinity Train. But, yeah, that's another one I should probably watch at some point. You were completely spoiled. Yeah. I probably was too, except it was so long ago that I only remember the barest, like, details. But yeah, it's been really good. I've been enjoying it a lot. Yes, and the rest of these are for the route itself. So, moving on over to the actual fucking game. Alright, let's see. Will Pesterquest open in full screen mode? And, like, actually stream properly. Oh, the theories and how quickly people figured it out, yeah. Destroy Alex Hirsch's soul because he worked too hard on it. Oh, ouch. Damn. Regrets of every episode are so personal. Yeah. I've seen Alex Hirsch on Twitter. Oh, speaking of the blog that I follow for Steven Universe episodes, they just posted, I just got a notification that they posted on Tumblr about the new opening. Alright, are y'all seeing Pesterquest on screen here? This shit should be up and running. You are? Sweet. And that quick response tells me that there's not too much lag today. Fuck yeah. Okay. So, Volume 4, Jade Harley, the loneliest girl in the world. Ugh, right from the beginning, they're just going straight for the fucking chest. By which I mean the heart. Also, this music, James Roach knocked it out of the fucking park on this. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so fucking catchy. It's so perfect for Jade, and also it's like 6 fucking minutes long. Like, damn. Only other person who's done that for a regular show and not a miniseries was a guy who had a cocaine addiction out of it. Get rights for every non-incest made against him. I mean, it was a little spoilery, but we're gonna leave it at that. I think it was like, it was toes the line perfectly between a little spoilery and like a little teasery. Pretty short. Well, not for one of the background songs. They usually run like 2 to 4 minutes. Is you gonna... This is the... The song title actually does say exactly where those sounds come from, or what his specific references. You love it, but what? I know, it's so good. Ah! It's so good. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. Like, I appreciate the sound effects, but I also worry that if I'm talking at the same time, they're gonna kind of get muddled together. But okay. It is okay. Yeah, I mean, like this. Okay, yeah, because it's like something like speak and spell. I don't know what that specifically is. But yeah, okay, I'm not arguing. Okay. Actually getting started now. It's been days and your stomach still hasn't recovered from Olive Garden, but you can't spend forever moping around. There are friends to be made, damn it! Well, just one left in this set. Her name is Jade Harley, and although all three of your new pals consider themselves good friends with her, they know strikingly little about her life. The most you have gleaned is that she lives on a mysterious island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with her grandfather and some uncommon breed of dog. Their communication with her has been limited to internet messages and packages sent to a P.O. box in some podunk town called Homestuck. High swap drop. So that's a connection now to Hive Swap. So they may not be living in Homestuck anymore, but that is still kind of a primary base for Jade Harley. In terms of some form of communication with the real world. Or I mean, well, was. He did, but you know. Oh, it's a toy. It's a toy for babies. Okay. Shit. I can't remember the name of the song now. I'm pretty sure. Carefree Victory? It's literally in the title of this remix. Anyway. Yeah, I'm glad we're getting like Hive Swap ref too. Yeah, just enjoy it and don't worry about that shit. This is James Roach beatboxing. Also, I think I talked about this tweet last week when you talked about how his track for Jade would be with the bass, the beatboxing, the piano, and the violin for all four of the kids. Here it is. It's coming in. God, tired of reminding us they're still making Hive Swap. True. God, I saw a conversation in a Discord server today that was like talking about like Hive Swap and complaining about like the updates and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, just don't. Like, just keep it to yourself. If it's bugging you so much, just don't, because like they're working hard. Like I trust that they're working very fucking hard, and they're just like, there's just a lot happening that we couldn't possibly know about because behind the scenes stuff and NDA stuff and all that jazz. So just like chill on it. Yeah, I know. I love it. Oh god, I love the song so much. Okay. So, Homestuck. John said he would message her to see if she could provide an address, but you don't want to wait. Throwing yourself headlong into friendship has always worked for you. So you close your eyes, think islandy thoughts, and hope it works. But something strange happens as you channel your powers. A loud bark echoes somewhere in the distance, and a nuclear green energy sparks in the air around you. You catch a split-second glimpse of a massive green sun, then you hit the ground on your hands and knees. The whole event can't have taken more than a second or two. Back! Back, vibe check, true. You blink and focus your vision. You are inside a room. The floor is smooth and white, and disrupting the monotony in front of you are a set of similarly white paws attached to a lucis, you mean an animal. You slowly stagger up and look at him. He is a very large and fluffy dog, his snout held up high. A long green tongue hangs from his open mouth as he pants lightly, and the air around him crackles with electricity, making the fur on his back stand on end. Something about him feels so familiar to you. Familiar twice over. His fuzzy and regal form reminds you of a warmth you once knew, but those neon sparks fill your stomach with dread. Thinking about, Lady Skyla's Lysis. And also Doc Scratch, fuck that guy. Dogs shouldn't have that much power, they're full of love, but they're too fucking stupid. Yeah. I love dogs, but yeah. Lady and Doc Scratch. Ugh. At the very least, he seems friendly. He leans in and drags his rough tongue along your cheek, leaving it tingling. His tail wags swiftly back and forth, and he keeps nosing at you. He seems fascinated. Aww. Ah, there she is. Beck! Down, boy! Gun! It is this friendly demeanor of his that leaves you shocked when he moves aside and you find yourself staring down the barrel of a rifle. It is held aloft by a bespectacled young lady in a sensible skirt who really has no business pointing such a big fucking gun at you. Okay, please don't panic and don't make any sudden moves. I never shot a living being before, and it would make me very, very sad if I had to start now. Oh, okay, so this is happening now. Is this Jade? She doesn't sound like Jade, based on what John told you. She looks more like a Gigi anyway. Or maybe a Lynn? So, Gigi being specifically a reference to her chum handle Gigi Gardenostic, and Lynn was apparently the other name that was suggested by the same person who suggested Jade on the old MSPA forums. Now, this is something that I don't have a verified source for, but Trace has been around for a while, so, like, I trust him. Name one of your OCs has been around. Ah. Before you were at Homestuck, you thought Jade had Rose's personality and Rose had Jade's. Oh. Huh. Certified kin. Oh, that's what your uncle calls you. But yeah, so that is what I've heard. I wish I intended to look up a source for that second comment there before stream, but I don't know. It just didn't happen. Right, the gun. Don't get sidetracked. You slowly raise your hands in surrender and try to put on your most inoffensive expression. You tell her that if she started shooting living beings, you would be pretty sad too, so why doesn't she put the gun down and... No way! I don't want to shoot you, but you are clearly a dangerous and unpredictable being, and I need to make sure I stay safe. My grandpa taught me a lot about gun safety and trigger discipline in case anything bad ever happened to me. So I know that good trigger discipline means keeping your finger on the trigger at all times in case you need to blow something to bits. And it's so fucking hard to tell whether or not she's joking, but I don't think she is. I think she legit thinks this is what fucking good gun safety is. God. I love the response too. Oh, fuck. Oh, rose-colored and nude-colored glasses for the optimist and the cynic. Ah, no, that would have been good. Jade Harley is a bad parent. Jade Harley is a fucking awful parent. Now let me make things clear to you. I'm a very clever girl, and you won't be able to fool me as easily as you fooled the others. It's very obvious to me what you've been doing, and I knew you would eventually show up if I waited long enough. Sure enough, John messaged me not too long ago to let me know you wanted to visit, so I prepared myself for your arrival. You've come to interfere with our lives, and now I want to know why. So you better start talking, okay? I love this face that's just like, I'm playing tough, but good God, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm terrified. Oh, a very clever girl. I know. God, I love her so much. Okay, you say. What does she want to talk about? You're well versed on a variety of eclectic subjects, so you can go on about basically anything. Wrestling, postmodern art, controversial opinions on traditional jurisprudence. But you get the feeling that this is an interrogation, and you really have no idea what she's interrogating you over. Beta timeline, Jade is a good parent, housewife, and Jake is a capital housewife, and she's a parent. Candy Jake is a good parent. Oh, Jane. Oh, I read Jane. Yeah, they flipped the books in that, yeah. Such a teenager face. It is. God. God. They're just... God, it's such a trip to go back and be like, this is fresh new content, but like, they're fucking 13 again. Like, damn. That's a very likely story. I can put 2 and 2 together pretty easily, you know. You've never shown up in any of my dreams before, and now none of those dreams are coming to pass. Not to mention, I don't even see Prospect when I go to sleep anymore. Ooh. And that can only mean that you have derailed the forces of fate. You destroyed John's copy of Sperm, and somehow that changed everything. Not only could John not begin the game, none of us could. And none of the meteors hit like they were supposed to. It's like the universe changed its very fabric to bend to your evil whims. Alright, so now we're getting the outline. The true consequences related to the game. From John's copy getting tossed. No meteors. No Prospect. Everything's just continuing as usual, right? Whoa, evil? That's a little harsh. You'll cop to stupid, but evil is way too much. Yeah, she just, like, she can't access Prospect anymore at all. You want her hair? I know, oh my god, these sprites, the hair, so good. Ruin it fic instead of a fix it fic. I mean, in a way. But, I don't know, the end of this route has me feeling like the opposite. Don't play dumb with me. What else could motivate you to stop us from fulfilling our destiny as heroes? Heroes? John and friends are very nice, but they don't exactly strike you as heroes. Oh my god. Alf, what fucking song is that from? That's because you don't know them like I know them. You haven't seen the shrines on Prospect, or heard the stories from the Queen, or seen them in the clouds growing into brave and wonderful people. And now I'm beginning to suspect that those things will never come to pass. Dawn's birthday came and passed without any fanfare, except for him supposedly befriending a strange mailman. In that day, the internet was full of people complaining that their beta copies of Spurb weren't working, and there was a huge scandal with the company. So, more info on just how the game functions now that he's fucked it up. Because they were the destined ones, right? Not only is there just, there's no meteors, Spurb fully canceled for everybody. None of that shit worked. It's a Frisco song, though. Okay. Alright. I'm not familiar with that piece of media. I feel like it's a movie. A little while later, I found out that this mailman was talking with Rose and had magical powers. I know a thing or two about magical powers, or at least powers which seem to be magical to those who haven't studied their logical sources. But yours are totally different from anything I've seen. At first, I thought you must be an advanced Dursite agent coming to sabotage us, but you definitely aren't from Durs. Maybe a Prospitian double agent? I also consider the weird trolls who keep pestering me. But they've been weirdly quiet lately, and you don't really give me that vibe. Duh, because the trolls technically only communicate with the Alpha timeline. Unless they're, like, deliberately communicating with splinters. Oh, it's a show. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, this kid's dealing with the apocalypse here. You're very old and hungry. Your stupid talk summer and first guardian powers, and you feel fear. Aww. And obviously you are not a human. Whoa, hang on. You are a human, right? She tilts her head and gives you a little, really? kind of look, and your stomach twists into knots. Teleport your house minus the food into space so she can eat it all. You probably kill this because he's such a dummy. Oh, yeah, my dog would steal all our freaking cheese. The more I look at you, the more I start to think you're like... Oh, this part's fucking good. Brace yourselves. Already broke a laptop. Oh no. How do I explain this? Okay, do you know what a furry is? What a way to... What a way to start a fucking explanation. Wow, okay. That question is more loaded than her gun. Yes? Alright, so a lot of artists I follow do YCH commissions, and you remind me of one of those. Does that make sense? You have no idea what a YCH is. You cautiously ask her. It stands for your character here. Basically, an artist will draw a pose or a scenario, but instead of putting an actual character, they leave a blank outline, like a mannequin. You pay them to put your own character there. And when I look at you, I feel like I'm looking at one of those blank spaces. My intuition doesn't tell me anything about you, and you've never shown up in my dreams. You're kind of like my best friend Beck over here. A complete wild card, something I can't figure out. Which brings me back to my point. What the fuck is a YCH? Yeah, I was confused about that, and I was like, well, I'm gonna see if they explain, and then they did, and I was like, ah. Jade gets MSP ordered the most because she's a fucking furry. Hell yeah. Homestuck did say furry rights. And, like, it does make sense. Because, like, MSP reader is literally, like, the reader character insert. So it's kind of like, your character here. Put yourself in these shoes. Didn't have to look it up because it's dangerous work. True. She had almost let her gun drop, and you had almost forgotten she was holding it, but she hefts it back up to point at you and steals her gaze. You are going to tell me why you came here and did what you did. And then you're going to help fix it. That rifle is really starting to bother you. Furry culture is integral to the nature of reality in Homestuck. It kind of is. There's a lot of furries and furry adjacent characters and shenanigans that do offer some rich context to what the fuck they're actually doing and what their personalities are. Okay, so as usual, we're gonna get the short end out of the way first. So, I found in this route that they didn't really try to play as many games with the choices. It's generally pretty obvious which one the right choice is. Yeah, so we're just gonna get the short ends out of the way. Because it'll always be integrally entwined with furries because it's internet-based. Yeah. Why is he used to the side? Jesus. Alright. Get that gun away from her. You can't let a good opportunity slip between your fingers again. You need to disarm her before she accidentally blows you to smithereens. There must be something else that will get her guard down. You ask about her grandfather, the one who taught her about guns. He surely must be a reasonable and mature man. Perhaps it might be best to bring him into the discussion? You could sit down, have tea, drop the gun. I don't know. Grandpa does love his tea time with guests, but usually conversations with him are really one-sided. Oh, is he that stubborn? Well, yes. He's a pretty obstinate man and a total blowhard. But as well, you may find him difficult to talk to on account of the fact that he's also a stuffed corpse. Oh, cool, yeah, that's cool, that checks out. This is fine, everything's fine. You love guest starring in a goddamn Hitchcock movie. Fuck, I'm sure there's like a specific Hitchcock movie that's being referenced here, but I have no clue. If anybody knows what the fuck could possibly be being referenced here, or is interested in Googling it, I would strongly appreciate it. This girl is clearly too unstable to be reasoned with. Hey, that's fucked up to say. You need to disarm her and pronto. You steer the topic away from the grandfather she's surely murdered. Again, very judgy. And wait for another lull in the conversation. When her eyes start to wander and her grip slackens, you spring forward and reach for the rifle. She shrieks and goes for the trigger, but before she can fire, an ear-splitting bark rings in your ears and the world explodes into neon green. Yeah, the context was the stuffed corpse. Something to do with a Hitchcock movie with stuffed corpse. Pretty sure that Weekend at Bernie's was not a Hitchcock movie. But it comes to mind just because it's been referenced before in Homestuck. Okay, well, it could just be a Psycho reference. You feel weightless and empty, cocooned in bitter cold. For half a second, you think you've just got Avada Kedavra, but then you glance around and see the stars. An iridescent light show twinkling all around you, painting the vast expanse with beaded glimmers. It is transcendent. It is beautiful. You are at peace. Or maybe that's just the asphyxiation talking? Space junked. We got sent into straight up outer space for trying to do that. Oh, because his mother wasn't alive. I haven't seen that movie. Wasn't aware it was like that. Damn. But yeah. F indeed. He got sent into fucking outer space. So, let's get right back in there. And do the right thing. Stay calm and explain yourself. Alright, pretty much everyone except John has called you on your bullshit thus far, so you may as well give her the full confession. You absolutely did change the course of reality, but it was the result of a genuine fuck-up, not ill intent. It's kind of a long story, but you relate it as best as you can. Your strange lack of memory, an encounter with a bizarre and magical artifact, the way you blundered into John's life and destroyed his mail as a result of your highly relatable social anxiety. The girl... Wow. Sentences and talking. Just gonna keep moving. The girl listens intently as you explain what brought you here, and then you offer an apology. You think that you have irreversibly altered the very fabric that threads her cosmos together. There's probably no way of putting things back like they were, and letting this lady go on her golden dream quest, or whatever she was blathering about while you were distracted by her very deadly gun. I know, where else would you get lines like, I fucked up the universe, but it was a genuine mistake. Okay. You sound very sincere, and I'd like to believe you. So I'll take your word for it for now. Whatever shenanigans you involved yourself in, I trust that you did not intend to cause any problems. Let's put all this ugly business behind us. There she is! Look at that cutie! Ah! She's fucking adorable. You can see her hair so much better in these sprites. There's just so much hair. The girl holsters her rifle and you breathe a long sigh of relief. Sorry about all that. I promised I only had the best intentions. It's cool, you tell her. You get the distinct feeling you've dealt with much worse. Yeah, I imagine a space hopper like you has been to all sorts of cool and dangerous places. Look at the little ice sparkles. They're the same ones that John gets. Siblings. Someone trying to avoid blame for something they're claiming they're not sapient. Oh god, that's so fucking true. It is MSB a reader. I'm kinda jealous, really. But anyway, we never properly introduced ourselves. My name is Jade, and my dog's name is Pecoral. What's yours? Huh. You know, you think this is the first time you have ever been asked for your name. Ever? You almost forgot you had one. You tell Jade your name. Huh. That's a very unique sounding name. I like it. Notably, no actual name given in text. You tell Jade that you like her name too, and she beams it. You tell Jade that you like her name too, and she beams at you. Thank you! I'm so glad my grandpa gave me this name. It's so pretty and fairly unique and just very likable. Anyway, why don't I show you around? I can give you a tour of the house and we can get to know each other a little better. Oh, that sounds great! You're an expert on taking tours of other people's houses, which makes sense since you don't exactly have your own house. Jade stares sadly at you. I'm very sorry to hear that. MSPA reader named Apple, no. No, it's cool. You have magic now, so the trade-off is probably pretty fair. Right. Well, this is of course my room. As you can see, I have a ton of pretty posters. This is my favorite. It was a gift from Dave, and I love it to pieces, even though it's honestly pretty dumb looking. But that's the point. She's talking about the one on the far right with the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff where they look like... where he edited them for her to look like furries. She gestures to a poster of Dave's webcomic guys with animal attributes scribbled onto them. Most of the other posters also feature anthropomorphic fauna, drawn with significantly more finesse. It all gives you a very furry vibe. But not in a bad way, you clarify. Her lips twitch in irritation, and it occurs to you that people are probably constantly either clowning on her for liking furry stuff or reassuring her that they aren't about to clown on her for liking furry stuff. You like the cat girl with the sword on the left? That is a rather impressive one. I personally am a fan of the fairy looking thing that's like above Beck's head. Well, I don't actually dress up in suits or any of that nonsense, but I really love animals, and I think it's fun to imagine what it would be like to be one. Which is why I own so many animal toys. Like the Manthro chaps, who are very silly but dignified fellows who are part animal and part Victorian era gentle sir. I love me a Manthro chaps reference. They're one of those things that, like, came up during her introduction, and they're, like, in the background of her room, but they never really came up anywhere else in the comic. They're just such a fucking weird concept. GameStop adding me. True, MSP reader doesn't know what Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff is. Oh my god, that's a travesty. She fucking gets it. Yeah. Jade gestures to a pile in the corner, heaped high with plushies and dolls of all sorts. Many of them look like man/animal abominations with curly mustaches, and others feature bright and puffy squid-like creatures. Oh, and these are my squiddles. They're based off of a cartoon show. Rose says it's a bad show, but I don't believe her. Jade fishes through the toy pile and retrieves a dark bluish-black toy. This one is Inkabelle. She's my favorite. In one episode, she gets lost in the murky brine swallows and spends years completely alone, lost without any of her friends. Oh, post-retcon Jade. But in the end, her friend Podlight tracks her down and saves her. It seemed so bleak the first time I watched it that I literally cried, but I realized in the end that it was a very poignant tale. Because it's fucking post-retcon Jade. No, Inkabelle is such a cute name. What does Rose even know, honestly? You don't feel guilty about buying Homestuck books, but you do with the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff books. Oh god, I wish I had the fucking Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff books. Yo, the next Homestuck book is coming out this month, I think. Volume 5? Book 5. It's got Act 5, Act 2, Part 1. Jade smiles wistfully down at the plushie in her hand. She glances from it to another one of the Squiddle dolls, and her expression tightens. She squeezes the doll just a little too hard, causing a horrendous pitchy squeak. I guess in retrospect, that was pretty silly, though. I mean, it was just a kid's show. Of course there was going to be a happy ending. That's how those always work, right? Jade, still smiling, I love that little flicker in her expression. God, the character sprite animations in this are so fucking, like, spot on, perfect, amazing. Jade's still smiling as she tosses the doll onto her bed, but she puts so much force into the throw that it goes careening off the edge with a wheeze. You hear it plop onto the floor and magnetize itself to another squiddle. Its voice box lets out a weak little yay. You still haven't read the book 4? I know, me neither. I'm like halfway through, cause like starting with book like 3, I wanted to actually read the fucking comic along with the notes and not just kind of scan it and read the notes just as, like, you know, a refresher and an excuse to reread it. But I just haven't touched it in months because I'm just like, ugh. Tried to stretch it out, but you ended up just not reading it. You should have a pile of plushies. Ah. Kids shows genuinely do have really fucked up episodes once in a while that they never bring up again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you forget, you rename them. Oh my god, that's great. But yeah, she's thinking about that and she gets mad and it's like, oh no! It becomes, the scene becomes a little clearer with the context of later on the route. The SU one? Okay, the first one that comes up in Steven Universe that I think of is the fucking Cat Fingers episode in season 1. That fucked me up, okay? Genuinely fucked me up. God, that episode makes me so vividly uncomfortable. Oh, and the time travel one! True, also the time travel one. Like, he has a song where at the end of I specifically remember when he's at the end of it, it's like, oh, Steven and the Crystal Gems, haha, they solved the problem, da da da. But then he's like, I learned to stay true to myself by watching myself die, and it's like, whoa! Let's back that up for a second. Oh, you're gonna see Chili Tide. Shit, which one was that? Oh, and Frybo. God, Frybo too. Wow, there's like a lot of fucked up Steven Universe episodes that are just fucked up and then they never come up again, I guess, because we're coming up with a whole bunch of them. Early seasons did go a little off of creepy. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh, that's one that I still have to watch. Hazing the live bloggers, huh? Shit, which one is Chili did though? Oh yeah, seeing Lapis in his dreams. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's right. I just saw a clip of that from like a YouTube video the other day. It was the one where it's like the sitcom with Garnet, but like, oh, they open the door and Lapis is there with like water pouring out of her eyes and her mouth. God. Ah. I love Lapis, by the way. I want another fucking, at least one more Lapis song in Steven Universe Future, because like Lapis only got one song in 5 fucking seasons. Like, she was in Steven Universe since the first fucking season, and she only had one song of her own the whole time, and that's including like songs like with other people. She just like wasn't really in anything. And then like Steven Universe the movie, she got to do some gorgeous harmonies. But like, y'all, Lapis only got one song. I want more Lapis. I fucking love her. Anyway, yes, the 3 of them need more content. Please, please, Rebecca Sugar. God, please. Before we start getting a little off track, we're driving on Mars. True. Okay. So Jade is quickly recomposing herself. I also want to see Bismuth kiss girls. Anyway. Okay. We truly do need that emote. Alright. Jade stands up and brushes off her skirt. Her eyes fall to her bedspread, which features a striking cloud design. She sighs slowly, then assumes a bright smile once more. Yeah, because her bed looks kind of Skya-ish. Anyway, let's go explore the rest of the house, shall we? I've got so much to show you. Jade hikes up her skirt and skitters down the spiral staircase 2 steps at a time. You're a little interested in the high-tech devices laying on the workbench near her bed and a glowing green crystal that you think is literally uranium. But Jade's already gone, so you tear your eyes away and follow. You want to see Pearl Kiss Girls too. Bismuth swoon over Pearl's new outfits. Yeah. The landing below her room is small and cylindrical and features only a gray closet-looking device and a platform on the floor. That's where her Dreambot would be. I'm assuming, anyway. Although the Dreambot thing was supposed to be in her room, wasn't it? Yeah, that was in her room. Shit, I wanted to look at reference pictures in the comic, but again, it just didn't happen, but that's chill. My room is at the top of a tower, but this transportalizer will take us to the garden, and quick and easy. Ta-da! She hops on and disappears in a flash of green light. You're a little nonplussed, but you've seen weirder. You step onto the platform, hear a light click beneath your feet, and in an instant, you're standing in a lush garden atrium. There are exotic plants as far as the eye can see, ranging from psychedelic floral arrangements to tropical fronds to fruits and vegetables. Tall windows blanket the walls and allow sunlight to stream in, and said windows are coated in a steamy mist. You feel like you just got clotheslined by a rainforest. I mean, there's no use for the dream pod anymore because it only interacted when she was on Prospect, right? Who We Are is the best fucking song ever. It is. It absolutely is. That was one of my favorite songs out of the whole movie soundtrack. It's beautiful, right? Jade opens her arms and spins around, gesturing to her various gardening stations. You nod. It really is. Can you picture her, like, spinning in circles with her arms out and just, like, a big smile? God, I love her. Gardening is another one of my favorite hobbies. It's a great way to get your hands dirty and do some real work. And the end result is really vibrant and beautiful. I know, I love Bismuth too. Please, more Bismuth. Please, 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 please. Jade waves her rough and calloused hands at you, and then strokes her fingers along the pinkish petal of an anemone and hums a little tune toward it. One of its leaves seems to curl toward her touch. When Jade pulls away, she skips towards one of the windows and motions for you to follow her. It's a beautiful island vista that awaits your gaze. To your left is a towering mountain that might just be a volcano, and ahead of you is a small bay filled with giant lily pads and an old mossy temple. Beyond the island, the sea stretches out to a shimmering horizon. Past that boundary line, an entire world awaits, ever out of reach. The only thing you don't vibe is the long sleeves. You don't like that. That's fair. That's valid. How hot it must be here, or the tower has excellent AC. That is, yeah, that's true. Hotter fucking rises. Although, in this room in particular, it seems to be of advantage because, yeah, MSPA reader did describe being in this room as being clotheslined by a rainforest. This is my home. This entire island belongs to just me, Beck, and my grandpa. It's a very peaceful place. The greenery is so lovely, and the bay is very fun to take a dip in. There's some mysterious ruins down there, too. I've always been very curious about them, but Beck won't let me visit them. I guess he thinks they're too dangerous. Grandpa's been there plenty of times before, though. Could her grandfather give her a supervised tour? Oh, Grandpa doesn't really move much anymore. He spends all his time having tea parties in the foyer. He's quite old, then? You could say that. Oh, jeez. She's not coming out and just saying it. It's like, oof, 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 oof. Jade wanders away from that window and toward another one, whose view is exclusively centered on the rolling blue. She presses a hand against the misty pane and sighs. You know, Dave talks a lot about coming to visit me here. I mean, all of my friends do, but Dave especially. Oh, 'cause he fucking... Not only does he think just the friendship with Jade is so strong, but also because he wants to get away from bro. In his usual Davey way, of course, which means making a lot of jokes and not sounding very serious about it. Yeah, I'm itching to put on my safari hat and come traipsing down to Doom Death Archipelago to get my ass murdered by Infinidog the Eldritch Retriever. Stuff like that. Oh, that's such a good Dave line, though. God. Infinidog the Eldritch Retriever. I know he really means it, though. He wants to see me just like I want to see him. But it's just wishful thinking. He doesn't know where this island is. Even I don't know where it is. All deliveries here go through some company P.O. box my grandpa set up before he died, and it's not marked on any maps. Because this is a special island with all kinds of important secrets on it, I guess. Or it was special. I was special. But not anymore! Ugh, now I'm just a regular girl stuck alone on this dumb island for the rest of my stupid life! Oh, sweetie. So, she's trying to put on, like, this is not bothering her at all, but, like, all the spurb stuff not working? It's hitting hard. Whoa. You asked Jade if she's feeling alright. Yes, I'm totally fine. Just peachy, thanks for asking. Come on, let's keep up with the tour. There's no time for dilly-dallying. My grandpa's collection rooms are up next. The first one is full of his big game hunting trophies. I'd never shoot an innocent animal, and I think the trophies are pretty hideous. But I do have to admire his great work stuffing them, I guess. It is really hard to properly stuff and mount something, trust me. Oh, God. Epilogue's really tried to ruin it, I know. If you weren't going, you'd be annoyed too. But yeah, it's just like... Yeah, I'll let the route talk for itself, because it does get into it a little more. And he has some cooler stuff on the lower floors, like all these badass knight statues, or these, faded blue portraits of pretty ladies. Okay, now I'm gonna be honest, most of my grandpa's collection stinks. But I think what is important is that is what it all represents to him. He's been on all sorts of incredible, amazing adventures, and he has this huge array of interesting things to show for it. You tell Jade that her grandfather sounds like a hell of a guy. Oh, he sure is. Back when I was little, he used to go on trips all over the world and come back with so many interesting stories and new souvenirs. I was so awed, and I guess a little jealous too. Sometimes he would be gone for days or even weeks at a time, and it would just be me and Beck holding down the fort. Grandpa Harley was a bad parent through and through. This man should never have ever been trusted with any children ever. Oh, okay, thanks, Sneak Cat. But, like, Grandpa Harley, Jake fucking Harley, should never have had children. God. I was always so happy when he came back, and I listened to his tales without making a single peep. But he never asked me if I wanted to come along for an adventure, no matter how obvious it was that I did. I guess that's just the way of life for adventuring folk. There is no time to be tied down, even by the people you love. They can stay at home and wait for you to come back. That's fucked up. Thank God Tappers revoked pause existing privileges. Yeah, honestly, like... Thanks, Stavros. Yeah, God. That's how it was for my grandpa, at least. What about you? You're an adventurer, too. You visited all my friends, and you've surely been to other awesome spots around the globe. So, I bet you left someone waiting for you, too, haven't you? Frost floods your veins and nestles into your heart with a burning chill for reasons that you don't quite understand. Jade tilts her head and bores into you with wide, curious eyes. One of her hands is balled up into a fist, and both of them are trembling as she watches you. Yeah, that chill is called all of the fucking Alternian friends that they made. Ugh. Jeez, you're gonna have to coach another kid through parental issues, aren't you? You swallow down your sudden anxiety, force a smile, and remind Jade that you're suffering amnesia. Oh, right. Well, it's just this feeling I get, you know? I have great intuition. When she smiles, the corner of her mouth twitches. It's now or never. Would she like to talk? I said I'm fine. There's nothing to talk about. Unless you want to talk about, some of these flowers. Isn't this one such a lovely yellow? Surely there's nothing wrong with a good old feelings jam, right? Jade's an expressive, empathetic girl. Feelings jams should be her thing. You think that, but she's still steadfastly ignoring you. Hey, how about this orange with a goofy face on it? Why don't we boggle at it for a while? Jade, something's wrong. You need to talk this out. That's what you do. You're a talker. So, why don't you two... Oh my god, just shut up! Please, just shut your stupid fucking mouth! Of course something is wrong, and that something is you! There was a long pause. Jade stands there, her eyes wide, shocked at her own outburst. She wipes a tear from her cheek, takes a shaky gulp, and then sprints back up the stairs. You're gonna cry? I know, me too. Oof, that didn't work. You stand there for a while feeling like a tender, AAA grade jackass steak with baked douchebag potatoes on the side. Then you sigh and steel yourself and make the trek back up to her room. Jade is nowhere to be seen. Beck is pawing clumsily at a large, suspiciously jade-shaped lump beneath the covers of her bed. You clear your throat and ask her softly if she wants to talk. It's cool, you say. You listen to teen drama all the time, and this is some particularly choice drama. Not that you like drama, you clarify. You just kind of exist in the periphery of it constantly. You are a drama magnet. There's a long pause, and you're about to turn and leave when she pulls the covers off and turns to you. Her eyes are all puffy and red. Hey. Hey. I'm sorry I yelled at you. It's not really your fault. I mean, it kind of is, but you didn't know you were messing anything up. It's not fair for me to be pissed at you. It's just... none of this is fair at all! Yeah, that sounds like life, alright. You sit down on the bed and tell her to vent about it. It's okay. You can take it. Okay. Have you ever spent your whole life waiting for something to happen and then it didn't? Well, your memory is pretty fuzzy right now, so you can't say you have. But you think you understand the similar sense of yearning. Good God, have you yearned? Yearning is a good word for it, yeah. Let me try to explain. When I went to sleep, I would see this beautiful golden kingdom called Prospect and hang out with the people there. I'd wake up with these fuzzy, half-remembered feelings of happiness and visions of the future swirling around in my head. It was nice. It was a good life. But there was this very lonely feeling that I couldn't make go away no matter what I did. I would always tell myself, soon, Jade, soon it'll all change. You will get to travel to Prospect in your waking hours, you'll meet your friends in person, you will finally begin to live, like really live. I waited days, months, years for the day to finally arrive, and then... it never came. I was so sure that it would come on Jean's birthday. All my dreams told me so, all the signs were there, but it just didn't happen. And now I don't know what to do with myself. I was able to ignore the lonely feeling because I knew that it would disappear one day, but now the day has slipped me by and it's like all those years are catching up and crashing down on me at once, and I feel so small and helpless and sad, like the loneliest girl in the world. I don't want to put all this on you. That wouldn't be very nice, but it's just... it's not It's not fair! Jade vaults from the bed and stamps her foot on the ground hard. Her face is flushed and streaked with tears and snot. She looks awful, frankly, like someone who's been holding it all in for far too long. Beck gets up and starts licking at her cheeks, and she holds him off until she can wipe her face on her sleeve. Thanks, Beck. This is why we invented D&D. Yeah. But... hitting close to home. At least I've got you for a best friend, right? Jade settles back onto the bed, stroking Beck's fur softly. I have a lot of complicated feelings about all this, I guess. So complicated and painful that I'd rather just pretend everything is okay. But now I can't pretend anymore, and these feelings are all that's left. And I hate feeling so glum. I hate sitting around and being all sad and useless. It's stupid and pointless and a waste of my fucking energy, and it's not who I am, and I'm just dumping it all on you. I'm sorry, I really am. Man, you just completely fucked up this girl's life and she's apologizing to you? Now you feel like the delicious 3-layered shithead tiramisu served after that nice meal of steak and potatoes you had earlier. You really want to help Jade. And while you still don't quite get all of this magical moon stuff she's been talking about, you do get how it feels to be lonely. That's something you can help with. You offer her your hand. Want to go see the world? She sniffles lightly and shakes her head. It's not going to work. Well, there's no way to know that unless you give it a try, right? She nods, stands up, and takes your hand. You focus on a familiar destination, John's house, but as soon as you begin to dematerialize, Beck turns to stare at you and you hear that familiar barking sound in your ears. And when the flash of light subsides, you're standing here in Jade's room only a few feet from where you started. What? See? I told you it wouldn't work. Come on, let me show you something. Jade hops up and shuffles down the staircase, and you follow. She takes you to the teleportation pad in the atrium. These transportalizers are all powered by thermal energy and use each other as beacons for the sake of easy short-range teleportation. But if you hook one of them up to a uranium converter and modify the coordinates specified in the logic board, you can theoretically go anywhere in the world. Which I tried. See? She twists the top off the pad with her fingertips and pulls it off and shows you the wiring underneath. It looks messy, like someone has made multiple attempts to rewire the circuits. So, this is giving us a fascinating look at how transportalizers work, or an idea of how the transportalizers could work. I think this is really neato. But yeah, no, that was real fucking smart, right? But, didn't... Well, she elaborates here. But when I used it, it only led to the exact same thing that happened just now. Beck used his powers to prevent me from leaving the island. Maybe I got the coordinates wrong, and I would have ended up stuck underground or something, but I checked and double-checked my measurements. I think Beck just doesn't want me to leave the island. He wants me to stay somewhere that he can keep me safe at all times. Speaking of... Perhaps he heard his name from above, or perhaps he just has a sixth sense about it, because Beck wanders down the staircase and over to Jade. She gives him a soft stroke behind the ear. I love him very much, but as long as he's around, I'm stuck here, because of the changes you made, that is how it will always be. I'm just going to have to get used to it, I guess. I'm just gonna have some water quickly. Damn, it's already after midnight. Jade deflates against one of her gardening tables and offers you a wan smile. For a split second, you could swear you see droopy doggy ears and a tail tucked between her legs. Depression to this degree simply is not conducive to friendship, and even if it was, you would still feel pretty shitty about it. You should do something to cheer her up. Okay, so, good old timing, I was just realizing. It's 10 after 12, and it's, break time. So... I know, look, we will go over all of the options, I promise, okay? So I will say before I break, so for this one, this is actually not the last choice. There is another set of choices later on, so I will again be picking the short answer, or the short ending first for this one, and then we'll continue on. But, in the meantime, it is time to take a break. I gotta give my little voice box a rest, so I'll toss on some music and we'll be back in 5. Hello. Break is over. T-pose to assert dominance. Oh god, yeah. There's a lot of that going on at summer camp this year. Ooh, what color are you painting your nails? And yes, Game Girl's a fucking gold. It's a gold song. Okay, let me just. There we go. Alright. Bringing back the jams. Okay. So. Oh, of course. Black, a classic. Alright, let's do the obvious smart choice and challenge Beck for superiority. It seems to you that the cause of Jade's problems, even though he's probably not hurting her on purpose, is Bequirl. He's a good dog, and he wants to protect her, but the time for that has passed. Jade has a new omnipotent friend in her life, and she's got places to be besides this island. There's only one thing for you to do. You need to establish yourself as the new alpha of the pack. You must win the right to escort Jade to visit her friends. This is how dogs work, right? Yeah, it is. It definitely is. You think. You square up, bend your knees, and tense your palms. What are you doing? Don't you worry about it, you tell Jade. You're practically an expert in Lucis wrangling techniques by now. In what techniques? She shouts behind you, but you're already charging. Beck doesn't see it coming at all, perhaps because it's such a spectacularly stupid thing to do. You go tumbling to the ground with him, and manage to pin him. You don't exactly know what to do now. There is only one possible course of action, and it has been inculcated with such mimetic gravity that you are entirely certain it will work as intended. Punch Beck in the snout to establish superiority, which I had forgotten, but was recently reminded, is a Problem Sleuth reference. It is a move often performed by Ace Dick. So let's go. You punch Beck in the snout to establish superiority and immediately realize it is not working as intended. Your favorite joke in all of them is PA. He snarls and flares up neon green, energy crackling around his body. You wince as heat washes over you as if you just opened the door. Wow, talking. He snarls and flares up neon green, energy crackling around his body. You wince as heat washes over you as if you just opened an oven door and your arm hairs stand stiff in electric terror. What were you thinking? This is a fight you can't win. Beck lunges at you and sinks his fangs into you. You yelp, pain splitting your sight, radioactive fire roaring up your arm. You yank yourself away and instinctively try to teleport, but as you disappear, Beck's teeth catches your shoulder and holds on tight. The two of you go hurtling through the nothingness, and you're pretty sure that you've left blood splatters on some meta-narrative construct, like a website scroll bar or the RunPD bug screen or some shit. Eventually, you come exploding back into canon and bounce off a purple spire with an ungainly smack, dislodging Beck in the process. We on Durst now, motherfuckers! You tumble onto a bridge and scatter some dudes in goofy jester outfits, and Beck lands in front of you. Good boy? Can we call it even here? He snarls and green flames crack the stone beneath his feet. So much for that. You throw up your arms in front of your face and squeeze your eyes shut as Beck lunges again, but you don't feel the sting of his fangs against your flesh. Instead, you feel the singularly odd sensation of your body passing right through Beck's, as though you had just had a window thrown at you, like a reverse defenestration. Refenestration? Unfenestration? Beck really showed up under us, ruined everything, and then left. The world beyond your eyelids strobes green, and when you open your eyes, you find yourself staring into a massive, verdant sun. You think that you went... Oh yeah, there's a typo in there. Beck went? You think that Beck went in for the kill. You think that when Beck went in for the kill, you must have phased through him as his powers surged? It was pure dumb luck. You can't imagine what kind of precise timing it would take to pull that off on purpose. The good news is that you're alive, but the blood loss is really doing a number on you, and you can't focus your powers. Your vision flickers at the edges, and there's a ringing in your ears louder than the flickering flames of the sun. You only just barely hear a voice from behind you as your eyes glaze over. So I'm already getting too fucking excited. Who's this douchebag? Alex! Oh my god, Aleph, what the fuck did you just link in chat? Oh. Yeah. No, that is about how this route went. But yeah, and it's dead, Zolix. And Aradia! Oh my god, I love her so much! I love Aradia so much! Solix, be nice. This douchebag looks very injured. I think they're going to have to restart and try again. Better luck next time. Oh my god! This is my favorite bad end. I love these two. Also, I love them so much. Like, this. Oh, God. I just love. Y'all, I flipped my motherfucking shit the first time I played this through. I completely flipped out my ass. Of course, Aradia is meta-narratively conscious. She's a fucking time player. It makes sense. Hi, Radio. Yeah, welcome back, Jade. You think that the trolls you're gonna meet are not gonna be like from the beginning, like the kids, but better on the meteor? Oh, you just don't know. We don't know what point. Yeah, but it's like Kill sounds like forcing us to restart repeatedly. Don't say Vriska. Well, we all know that the answer is Vriska, because she's fucking Vriska. God. But yeah, Gamzee and Aridin, also pretty valid answers. Equius? Oh, true. It would be fucking on site with Equius. But I'm guessing that that's going to be one of the double volumes, and it's going to be Equius and Nepeta together. Okay. So, hopping right back into the correct choice. Explore. You present your most finely honed smile of confidence and urge Jade to stand. This is no time to mope around. There is plenty of fun to be found without leaving this island. You suggest that perhaps with your help, you can give her the opportunity to explore that temple she's always been curious about. Really? That would be super fun. But what about Beck? Oh, there's nothing to worry about there. You have a genius plan, you tell her. You tell her to just head on over to the temple and you'll take care of the rest. Okay, if you say so, but please don't do anything to hurt Beck, okay? I love him to bits. You wouldn't dream of it. Not on this route, at least. Jade transportalizes downward, and you turn your attention to Beck, who is idly sniffing one of Jade's plants. You advance on him slowly and with intent. You know what must be done. Pet the dog! You just get right in there. You pet the hell out of this dog. You employ all of your strongest pamper tacks, like the quick scritch up, the mane massage, and the rare Coddlebrand X dog smite. Somewhere in the distance, a blue bird observes your masterful display and chirps happily. Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter be like, so, when is that, can you pet the dog gonna update? You know, that Twitter that posts out whether or not you can pet the dog in certain video games. You can pet the dog in Homestuck Pesterquest. Yeah, I mean, I don't think birds specifically have been mentioned before, but I mean, it makes sense. But suddenly, Beck's head snaps up and he points his snout in the direction of the temple. Whoa, whoa, whoa there, buddy. Now's no time to be thinking about Jade. Now is Belly Scritch's time. You start rubbing Beck's stomach and he flops onto his back with his tail wagging and his feet curled up. Who's a good boy? Beck looks up at you and you see the cosmos reflected in his deep, piercing eyes, and you understand. He's a good boy, and he knows it. After a while longer than spent threading your fingers through his silky fur, Beck curls up beside you and yawns, starting to nod off. You kiss him on the forehead and then take the opportunity to slowly stand up and exit the room, letting the sleeping dog lie. I know, I love him too. You're a little worried about alerting Beck by using your powers. He seems to be pretty keyed into that kind of space-time manipulation, so you just take the long route to the temple. Jade's Island is a very beautiful place with rolling hills and lush sun-bathed plains. It looks like an excellent vacation destination, but it is also so bare. There is nothing and nobody around except for the hollow whispers of the wind. You can see how this place would feel much less like paradise after years spent stranded here. When you reach the lake surrounding the temple, you see that the giant lily pads outside have arranged themselves into a walkway that you can use to reach it. How strange and convenient. You channel your inner frog and hop across. Hey! Up here! Jade calls down to you. She's at the temple entrance, far above your head, waving down at you. Grooves carved into the wall form a ladder that you can use to climb up, and soon you are standing beside her at the entrance to the temple. A huge, imposing archway marks the ingress between this sunny island and the dark interior of the ruin. From within, you can see a faint yellow-green glow that seems to come from the runes carved into the walls. Spooky. As you proceed through the entryway, Jade runs a hand along the glowing walls, her face bathed in sickly green. At the end of the hallway is a large, round platform decorated with cloudy designs and a glowing orb at the center. It doesn't seem to pique your inner interior decorator, but Jade seems quite awed by the sight. This is Skaya! I knew this temple had to be connected to that world in some way! Jade rushes onto the platform and it begins to descend. You quickly follow her before you're left behind as the elevator takes you down to an expansive and dark room below. Much like the rest of the temple, the space seems very sparse, and it is illuminated by the faint glow of the runes on the walls. A large purple lotus flower rests atop a pedestal in front of the elevator, petals wilted. There is an electronic display built into the pedestal with a timer that could feasibly count down for millions of years, but it seems to be glitched, stuck a few hours away from zero, with the seconds digit constantly ratcheting back and forth between two numbers. So all of the countdowns that we've seen so far that have been related to Suburb, they're all frozen. They're all stuck at 413, and that's the effect that it's had on them. Jade places a hand on the pedestal and sighs. The number is stuck. I think this is a time capsule, but it's malfunctioning for some reason. Was I supposed to open it when the time was right? Now I'll never know. What else could this place be hiding from me? As if on cue, the elevator platform shudders and begins to rise behind you. As the platform ascends, it becomes clear that there is a pit beneath it, which is basically video game logic 101. Jade looks down into it, and you follow suit, and see... transportalizers? There's two of them, one a deep purple and the other a brilliant gold. Jade leaps down into the pit, which is a pretty brave maneuver because it's deep as hell and real life still has fall damage. She grunts and sinks to her knees from the impact, but quickly recovers and rushes over to the golden transportalizer. She examines it for a moment and then clambers on, and with a soft click, the pressure plate is depressed and the device surges to life. She disappears in a bright flash of light. Well, shit. You better follow her. You hop down and step onto the transportalizer, and the same flash of light consumes your body. You feel something like wind whipping around you as your molecules are dematerialized and then reassembled in a new locale, a glimmering golden palace. Oh yeah, he hid them from Jade. It's fucking working. We'll see where this goes. Wow, this place is way too fucking bright. Someone needs to crank the saturation down pronto. I don't believe it. Jade is looking around with wide eyes that reflect your golden surroundings. This is it! This is Prospect, the planet I visit in my dreams. I didn't think it was possible to get here like this. What does it mean? Why am I allowed to be here right now? I should go talk to the Queen. And with that, she's off, sprinting down the halls with a renewed sense of vigor. You scramble to keep up with her, threading your way through crowds of confused white-shelled folks in fancy outfits. They kind of remind you of yourself, but with chitinous bodies. You sidestep a lady carrying a paint can, Miss Paint, and shuffle down a lightly golden staircase adorned with regal golden spikes. You can only barely keep your eyes on Jade's long black hair as it swishes behind her. When you finally catch up, she's in the middle of an argument with two burly fellows in white suits. She stamps her foot at them, but they are undeterred, blocking her passage further. Eventually, Jade wheels around to look at you. She tries to soften her expression for your sake, but her face is still sour. Ugh. The guards won't let me see the queen. Apparently she's really busy with something. They told me I'm not supposed to be here and that I have to leave right away. This is totally bull. I'm a princess. I swear, some of those idiots can't even recognize me without the pretty golden dress. Ugh, I guess I'm not getting any answers here either. Let's just get out of here. And then she's off again, this time striding forward with her fists curled and her jaw set. You glance back at the guards, whose furrowed brows strike you as more worry than air, and then follow Jade back. You're almost to the exit when you see it. A dark figure silhouetted against sky as brilliant blue. They are humanoid in shape, with two leathery wings outstretched and inky black tendrils trailing behind. Crimson force crackles in their wake, and they swoop over the city like a bird of prey. Something about them gives you a major case of the heebie-jeebies. You do a nervous little half-jog back to the transportalizer and get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, that is Beck fucking Noir. At this point, so at the point in the story that they're referencing, I believe this is before Jade prototyped Beck. But now the question is, so if they were able to get into Prospect and they're seeing the Beck Noir with the prototypes used from their session, then which Prospect are they on? Like, what doomed timeline is this connected to? Because, like, he's firing off red miles. This is right before he destroys Prospect. The temple feels oppressively dark compared to the blinding bright of Prospect. You spend a while blinking as your eyes readjust. The transportalizer you just used flares up red and then cracks. That's probably not a good sign, is it? You do what you do best. Ignore it and climb out of the pit. Jade is standing beside the Lotus contraption, running her hand along one of the pedals with her face set. What does all of it mean? Was this here all along? Has my grandpa been to Prospect before? If I can go there, then I must still exist. The game must still exist, but how? None of it makes any sense. I need to think about this. You follow Jade slowly back to her house as she mumbles to herself, brows furrowed. You can barely catch what she's saying, but she's clearly thinking hard. The clouds have never been wrong before. Is it too early? Was this meant to happen? Once you reach the atrium, Jade lets out a sharp breath and nods her head, resolute. She turns to you. All right, I think I understand. I know what's going on now. Great, you offer her your most winning smile. What's the sitch? Well, the truth is, I was always being very immature about the idea of being a hero and having a destiny. Life isn't like in kid cartoons, after all. Heroism isn't all rainbows and sunshine, and it's childish to think that everyone gets a happy ending. That kind of storybook stuff doesn't really exist. To be a real hero, you have to be prepared to suffer horribly. I know, this is Jade. No. It makes sense when you think about it. If everything came easy, there wouldn't actually be anything heroic about it.
Why else would my grandpa have put me on this island? Why else would Beck want to keep me safe here even now that everything's changed? It's because it's my destiny. I have to prove that I'm willing to suffer and willing to sacrifice. That has to be it. Oh, sweetheart, no. This can't all have been for nothing, right? That's not the way the world works. Everything has a purpose, even if it's not clear at first. Ugh. Seeing Prospect in the flesh reminded me of that. My purpose is to do what I've always done. What my grandpa and Beck have helped prepare me for. I know I'll be really lonely, but in the end it means that everything will continue to play out the way it is meant to. It's a very noble job, and I've got to be the one to do it. No! You're at a loss for words. This really doesn't feel like the right takeaway from all this, but you don't know jack about Spurb or destiny or any of that nonsense, so who are you to say otherwise? So, thank you for helping me visit Prospect. I wouldn't have figured this all out if not for you, and I'm sure that meeting me is one step along the way towards your mysterious fate as well. I will be rooting for you. Jade erupts into a broad, beaming smile. It might be the first completely genuine smile you've seen from her this entire time, but it doesn't make you feel any better about it. In fact, it's more like a knife twisting in your gut, and when she throws her arms around you and hugs you tight, the knife pushes deeper to the bone. Well, you probably have more important stuff to do than keep hanging out with me. I'll let you get back to it. Jade turns around and heads for the staircase, leaving you to stare at her retreating form. Is this it? Will you accept the new destiny you've written for Jade and allow her to stay trapped here on this island? I know, Jade, my sweetheart. She's trying so hard to justify these circumstances because they're just so fucking painful for her. So we have one last decision. Accept or do not accept. But here's the deal. I'm gonna grab the reins just for this one volume. I'm gonna grab the reins on whether we do the good end or the bad end first. Because I don't want to end on the bad ending either. It just, like, the good end is so good that it's just, like, such a fucking mood kill to go back and do the bad end after. So, accept. Wow. Huh. You're kind of a huge jerk, aren't you? Or maybe the narrative is a huge jerk. Is what you would say, but now you're practically in charge of the narrative, so yeah, it's basically just you. But Jade seems happy enough with her lot in life. Maybe she's better off this way, instead of whatever danger she would have gotten caught up in had she played Spurb. Yeah, you just keep telling yourself that. Bad end. Important heroic end. Da da da. Mm-mm. Okay. Final load in. Do not accept. Some people might take this as a lesson in the responsible use of reality-altering powers. Some people might swear off manipulating canon entirely. But not you. What's the point of having sick-ass powers at all if you never use them? Maybe some god is going to punish you for the way you've been fucking with the universe, but right now, you don't care. This girl would burn herself to ashes to keep her friends warm. The least you can do is risk the flame for her sake. You quickly sprint up the stairs. Oh, you're not leaving. Don't you have places to be? I will be fine here alone, I promise. It's my duty. I'll get used to it eventually. You can't imagine she's okay with that, no matter what she says. Does she really want to stay alone for the rest of her life? Well, of course not. What I want to do is explore the world and hang out with all my pals. But it's not about what I want. It's about doing what has to be done. That's what it has always been about for me. Well, that's bullshit. Huh? Maybe Jade's fate dictates she never play the game she wanted to play. Maybe heroes don't get a happy ending. But that doesn't mean heroes can't be happy. There comes a time in every young woman's life, you tell Jade, when she can't leave home because her pet is an overprotective god. Okay, that's obviously not true, but there comes a time in many young women's lives where circumstances beyond their control leave them without an escape. Perhaps it is easier to believe that the escape will never come, but you can't let Jade do that. When life has you stuck, at home perhaps, you can still hold on to hope. You can still fight. Or you can fight. No matter how long you have to wait, you can keep looking for another chance to see the world. And if the universe tells you to sit, stay, and roll over, you look the universe dead in the eyes and ask, who do you think is the master around here? And then you tell it to motherfucking heal. Snaps for that. Alright, big paragraph in chat. Give me a second to read this. And more of a good person without the friendship compulsion that Doc Scratch put on them. Yeah. Definitely wasn't friends where MSP did shitty things just to make a friend. But, like, yeah, he's genuinely helping out. They're genuinely helping out, like, you know, all these people. But yeah, that's for sure. Because, I mean, Doc Scratch, all of the shitty stuff that MSPA Reader was doing with Doc Scratch's kind of friendship impulse, you know, like, that was all influenced by Doc Scratch, specifically for his nefarious purposes, and he didn't give a fuck if MSPA Reader was being, you know, immoral or whatever, as long as it, you know, got to the circumstances that he wanted, you know, like the ends justifying the means, etc., etc. And yeah, Longsroot is a big oof. Yeah, you're right. Even now, I was still being childish. It was easier to tell myself to be miserable for a noble cause instead of holding on to hope and maybe getting hurt again. But I have to have hope. That's who I am. I'm a hoper, not a moper. I will keep trying to convince Beck that it will be safe for me to leave the island. Things have changed, and maybe he doesn't realize it yet. He's kind of a silly, dumb dog at times, but he loves me and I love him, and we can work it out. Maybe it'll take a while, but I'll definitely figure things out. And while we wait, you'll come visit me sometimes, won't you? Of course you will. You are not in the habit of abandoning your friends. The idea is unthinkable. Big oof for everyone from the Hive Swap Friend Zone. You promise Jade that you will come visit her. Come visit? Come visit! A light bulb goes off in your head. One of those cool LED light bulbs, the kind that sync up to your phone and changes colors and spies on you for the government. Party time! You ask Jade if she's ever had a slumber party. A slumber party? No, I've never had one. It sounds exciting, but, is it really a party if there's just 2 people and a dog? That sounds more like a mild slumber hangout. Don't worry about it, you tell her. Just start getting the place ready for a bash. Put out the sleeping bags, conjure up some lightly irradiated snacks, pump up the fresh jams, etc., etc. I don't know if I even have sleeping bags, but okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe there's something useful inside in my grandpa's old supplies. You shoot her a confident salute and then dissolve into the ether of canon. I love this whole thing. I love this whole part so much. Oh my god. Alright, Egbert, up and at him. It's party time. John yelps and tumbles out of his chair, crashing to the ground in an undignified heap. It looks like he was in the middle of debugging some code on his computer when you interrupted him. This is the perfect fucking sprite. God, I love this.
Oh yeah, big F's for fucking John. Giving Rose catharsis, deepening friendship, vaguely validating June's shitty taste.
He distangles his limbs and stands up with a groan. Okay, Magic Mailman, we need to get some things straight. Your powers are extremely cool, but using them like this is kinda dumb. Jump scares rank very low on the prank scale. They don't take any effort. They are just sort of mean and annoying. You apologize for scaring John. You're just in a very excited mood right now, because it's time for a motherfucking slumber party. Oh, cool. I've never been to a slumber party before. Who is it with? You grin. Don't you already know who with, John? The American Association of Mailmen? You give him a blank stare. God fucking damn it, John Egbert. Oh, right. Probably my other friends. That one should have been obvious. God, look at that big smile. Ah! There you go, John. You tell him to pack up whatever supplies he thinks he should bring, and then get ready for another whirlwind ride through space-time. I don't know. I should probably do the responsible thing and let my dad know I am going on a trip, even if I will be back soon. Okay, that's fine, you tell him, but don't take too much time. This route's already getting pretty long. Cool. Okay, what should I bring? Oh, I need to grab some movies, definitely. Dave will be there, right? I should bring some McConaughey movies, so he realizes I was right all along about Matthew's stellar acting. Oh, and of course some snacks. This is a great time for me to unload all the excess birthday cakes my dad made me. Seriously, there are hundreds of them in the fridge. It is highly ridiculous. I love these kids so much. You wait patiently in John's room as he goes downstairs to fetch his bounty of cakes, talk to his dad, and do all his other preparation. It takes forever. You're not really sure what he's doing down there. You think he might be walking around examining all of the objects in his home in great detail and solving a bunch of puzzles? Come on, John. That's not the right genre of game. Get your shit together. Okay, ready. The moment they landed in Rose's house, I was so fucking excited because I thought that he was just gonna like drop John at Jade's and then like go back for Rose, but like they're all going on a journey. It is so perfect, it's so cute. Alright, step 2 is to go get Rose. You take John's hand and zap the two of you into Rose's mansion. John spends a while goggling at the giant statue of Zazurpan the Learned. Then you ascend the staircase towards Rose's room and knock on the door. Her voice comes from within, slightly muffled. You're home early. I've been hearing strange noises from the neighboring lab of late. Have you... Rose opens the door and freezes. John? Her eyes widen as she slowly steps backwards, which John takes as an invitation to stride into her room. Her cheeks darken and she scans the room, eyes flicking from mess to mess. The big friendship ending. I know. Oh god. I love R.I.P. Rose. I know. She's so self-conscious. Sweetheart. Surprise, Rose! That was not... I'm just gonna keep reading. We are here to steal you away, like the owl who kidnaps Harry Potter. That's not... She sighs and turns to you. Yeah, she's about to be like, that's not how that fucking works. Because that isn't how that fucking works. But, She sighs and turns to you. Care to explain the sudden intrusion? It is normally considered polite to call ahead, especially when one is possessed of reality-bending powers. Oh, don't be melodramatic. There's probably nothing too embarrassing in this room. John furrows his brow as he glances around the room. Yeah, she's still gonna be self-conscious, buddy. Eyes sweeping over the walls. He eventually settles on some pictures that have been hung up. I mean, look at these great drawings. Did you do those? That is so cool. I didn't know you drew stuff. Rose gives him the smile of a girl whose soul has just shriveled into a blackened husk. Thank God the world ended before Rose could learn that J.K. Rowling is a TERF. True. God. The smile of a girl whose soul has just shriveled into a blackened husk. Isn't that just a mood sometimes, though? Again, an explanation would be nice. You explain that you've come to collect Jade's friends for a slumber party. I see. The commercial and critical failure of Spur must have impacted her more strongly than I anticipated. She was really looking forward to playing that game with us. Yeah, that's putting it lightly, probably. I would hate to disappoint her further. Consider this my RSVP. Rose gives you a curt nod and then turns to frown at John, who is poking around under her bed. Something tugs at the corner of her mouth. John, my mother is busy and will not be expected to return for a while. Why don't you and our strange friend go analyze her room instead? I need time to pack. Yeah, Rose is just like real snappy, like, get your fucking paws off of my things. Oh, okay, Rose. Whatever you say. God, the fucking space between what and ever. John, stop. Rose shoves you out of the room with more strength than you expected from a 13-year-old girl and shuts the door hard. Man, I hope Rose realizes that I was being serious when I said her drawings were good. We tease each other a lot, but she's really cool. John's speaking loudly enough that Rose can almost certainly hear him from the other side of the door. You think he knows that, but you don't say anything, except to casually suggest that you and John go wait downstairs and admire all the ridiculous wizard art. He agrees. Oh my god, Bridge. Okay. God, this house is so weird. Who needs a giant statue of a wizard? Where did they even get this? Oh, and speaking of weird, I didn't want to bring this up with Rose, in case it's just some funny story I'm not in on, but what's with all the writing on her? The writing on her walls, the meow code, the game is gone, but the writing is still there, and she still can't see it. So, that's the thing. That's still a thing. But John trails off as Rose descends the stairs with a neatly packed bag. Shall we? We shall, you say. With a hand on each of their shoulders, you close your eyes and concentrate on the Strider apartment. You're aiming for the hallway outside the front door, but this power is still taking some getting used to, so instead you pop into existence right on top of Dave's bed. God, the use of the sprites to animate them in this route is so fucking good. The boy of the hour. He's tapping away at something on his computer, and as soon as you appear, his entire body tenses up. You've barely had a moment to react before Dave wheels around in his chair and flings a handful of shurikens at you. One of them grazes Rose's cheek so closely, a strand of pale hair flutters to the ground. She turns to look at the weapon, now embedded in the wall, and runs a finger along the edge of the blade, squinting. Oh, Jesus shit. What the fuck, man? Surprise! Okay, rule 1 of time travel or dimensional hopping, don't fucking pull this kind of shit. I mean, seriously. Under any other circumstances, I'd be shitting my fucking nuts off about the opportunity to chill with my best bro. But dude, you can't just drop a guy's besties into the middle of his room out of nowhere like this. This is an extreme social faux pas. You've got to give a guy some time to prepare. I immediately was referring to John. It's just like, that's gay. Anyway. Oh my god. Oh my god, they're talking to each other again. Oh, I love all of the interactions in this so much. God. You're laughing so hard. I know. Poor Dave. Fucking look at that sprite. Like, that's such a perfect sprite for this fucking... God. Yeah, shurikens? Interesting choice. Yeah, they're conversing. God. Don't be melodramatic, Dave. I assure you, there is nothing present in this room that could make us think lesser of you. If Rose was scarred by that near-death experience just now, she doesn't show it. She hops off the bed and glances around. If you left any pornography out, it will only serve to confirm the hypotheses I have already made. Haha, dude, are these selfies? Are you doing the duck face in this one? Oh man. Well, for fuck's sake, John. You get a VIP all-access badge, backstage pass, and the first thing you do is insult my stuff? Like some rowdy tool at the Nickelback concert rummaging through their closets instead of doing the musical world a favor and assassinating them? Well, yeah. You would do the same, dude. Touché. But anyway, aside from you getting your grubby hands all over my pristine collection of cool swords, what the hell are you all doing here? We're having a slumber party. Are you in? Oh. I don't know. Egbert just vibe check. God. I know, fucking assassinating them, like of all the things. Bro is basically always keeping tabs on me. God wants me to be safe, you know? Oh god, he's justifying the abuse of child. Oh. Or rather, wants me to only be in the right kind of danger, to teach me lessons about irony and being a dope-ass fucking ninja master. It's all some pretty intense supervision, is the point being made here. Was already getting some rank vibes from him after that little jaunt over to Olive Garden. Oof. Right, because this is a few days after that happened. Actually, the vibes have been off ever since John's birthday, if I'm being honest. So, I don't know how you'd feel about me gallivanting off on some magic snooze adventure with the Slappy the Traveling Mailman. Seems like the kind of thing he'd take issue with. Aw, come on, he can't be that bad. What kind of guy wouldn't let his brother go hang out with his friends? Oh, sweet naive John. Yeah, I guess. Be a pretty shitty kind of guy if he did that. Wouldn't he? They're poking holes in his justifications, and he's not taking it well. Dave stares off into the middle distance for a while. Rose observes him intently. Look, Dave, I don't think it would feel right if we all had a big party and you weren't there. Jade would really miss you. As would we. Yeah. God, they love each other so much. Dave glances furtively around the room, as if he's expecting a camera to blink at him from up in one of the corners. Alright, I'm in. Just let me grab some subs. That's supplies for short. Hey, mailman, what's Jade's hell dog like? Do I need to bring one of those cool-ass swords? Cool? Those swords are like $5 Chinatown swords, aren't they? What? No. Okay, listen. While Dave grabs his stuff and John heckles him affectionately, Rose's attention has been drawn back to the shuriken Dave threw at her. You stroll over and ask her what's up. She responds with her own question. Yeah, MSP Reader, vibe check, drop, takes Rose to ride room to a volcano. Oh, yes. But I love that so much. Fucking, like, the two sprites, they're affectionately heckling, and it's just like, God, this is so perfect, and I love it so much. I love them. Have you been introduced to Dave's brother? Not yet. You've heard a lot about him, though. For the sake of diplomacy, you only briefly touch on the opinion you formed. He certainly seems like a fascinating man. The kind of individual whose brain I would love to pick apart to find out just what twisted mechanisms fire off within its chambers. So that's what she's thinking about? Dave's bro? Rose chews on her bottom lip. Not exactly, but an adjacent topic. I'm mulling over the ethical quandaries presented by the existence of powers esoteric. What? It's nothing to concern yourself with yet. We have a party to attend, apparently. No, don't make this have anything to do with the epilogues. Don't do that right now. I much prefer the idea that Rose is considering asking MSPA Reader to just completely retcon Bro out of existence. Just, like, completely eliminate him from this timeline altogether. I much prefer that theory. Right. Dave is... What the... Ow. Sorry, my computer tray is, like... poking. The corner is poking at me. It's very pokey. Okay. Right. Dave is done packing up. You open both palms and suggest that everyone hold hands so you can best channel your power. Really? We're holding hands? God, this is so stupid. But he does it, and when he clasps John and Rose's hands, he shifts around and blushes faintly in a manner that suggests he really doesn't think it's so stupid. In fact, he may think it is the opposite of stupid. He may think it is rad. This is so cute! Oh, Dave! Oh. And he'd be right. Friendship is the raddest thing of them all. And we're back where we started. You're full of warm and fuzzy friend feelings as you teleport back to Jade's atrium. Wait, no, that's just the feeling of your body dissolving and reconstituting itself halfway across canon. They're very similar feelings. You head to the base of the staircase, where you call out to Jade. Her guests have arrived, you tell her. Jade rushes down the stairs and nearly trips over her skirt. Her expression is tight and anxious, and when she sees your motley crew standing there, she freezes up. Her breath hitches in a half sob. You really did bring them. They're here. You're all here. Jade breaks into a wide grin and sprints forward, launching herself like a missile at her friends. God, the animations are so good. I know, me too. I can fucking... Dave throws himself bodily out of the way, and Rose takes an alarmed step back, leaving John to bear the full brunt of her affections. She crashes into him, and the two of them go spinning around and around as Jade laughs breathily. Whoa, calm down there, Jade. It's nice to see you too. Tears are beating in her eyes as she squeezes him tight and then pecks his cheek with a soft kiss. Oh, John, I'm so happy to see you in person. I'm in waking person and everything. I've spent so much time watching you sleep. What? Jade swings around to look at her other two pals. Come on, you two, get over here. We're having a 4x hug combo right now. Dave! I know, me too. This just fills me with so much warmth and happiness. Rose and Dave cautiously step forward, and Jade, with John's help, yanks them both into a tight embrace. She smooches them on the cheeks, too. Rose's face lights up with a blush, and Dave nearly goes catatonic. When Jade pulls back, she's clutching John's hand and tugging so hard she might pull the damn thing off.
rights for all the ships, but also, oh my god, fucking these kids, okay? Like, Rose and Dave, who are in, like, Dave, very especially, to the two of them, who are so fucking touch-starved and deprived of actual physical affection from their guardian figures. And they're just like, why? You're hugging me? You're kissing my cheek? What? And they're just fucking like their brains are fucking exploding. And it's like, God, these fucking children. Ah! I know. I love them all so much too. Come on, everyone. Let's go upstairs. I found a bunch of old military-grade sleeping bags in my grandpa's old adventuring gear, and I set them up in my room. We can play with all my toys and jam out to some music and stay up all night chatting with each other, and oh my god, you're here! You're all here! This is really happening! Jade's next laugh verges on hysterical, and she's got tears streaked down her cheeks. Dave looks a little perturbed. Wow, holy shit. It's cool, Jade. No need to get so like this. Kind of fucks me up seeing you cry. Not that I'm trying to make this all about me. I mean, Dave is just like, please stop, because I don't know how to handle emotions. She's literally vibrating, I know. Dave, you're doing a horrible job of comforting her. Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. Ah! That fucking gay shit is so good. Oh my god. I need to find those shit. I forgot to fucking, this line is a very specific reference. Why is it not coming up? It's a very specific... Oh my god. Okay, so it turns out the search engine on the MSP website, Homestuck.com, is actually fucking useless now. Because I am like 99% sure that, like, I saw a screen cap that was like, yeah, it was from the chapter in Candy with Jade's funeral, like the dead Jade funeral, and Jade is really uncomfortable, and Rose just like, and Kanaya says to Jade, come here, Jade, I will hold you in my arms because, and we'll see how the rest of this plays out, and I will come back to this. Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. That gay shit. Rose walks over to Jade, extends her thumbs, and swipes them down Jade's teary cheeks in a stiff, mechanical motion. Then she wraps her arms around Jade in an embrace that could generously be called a hug, but looks more like the precursor to an alien medical examination. Because the reason Kanaya says that is because Jade was doing such a piss fucking poor job of comforting Jade at this fucking funeral. But it's like, when you think about why this is, and how it's just that Rose never had a model for physical affection at home, so she just doesn't know what to do with herself. It fucking hurts. John boggles at the display. None of you whack jobs know how to do this. Oh my god. Come here, Jade. Aw, thank you, John. Now come on, everyone, let's go. It hurts, but she's trying. I know. And so the party begins. Tales told, movies watched, and fun had aplenty. So many shenanigans happen. So many. Perhaps someday you will recount them all in detail. But before you know it, the energy in the room has fled alongside the sun. The moon and stars cast their pale gaze upon four supine friends, bundled up in sleeping bags and caught midway between slumber and wakefulness. Dave is rambling about some inane bullshit that nobody is paying attention to, and Rose is attempting, quite terribly, to lecture John and Jade on the modern reinterpretation of Lovecraft's works. You think it's about time you bowed out. It's not that you haven't enjoyed chumming it up with these kids, but you feel kind of weird sticking around overnight. You can come back later. I mean, he kind of has to come back later because none of them can go home if they don't come back. Besides, you got places to go and sights to see. There's an entire golden moon out there full of potential friends that you knew nothing about before today. The universe beckons, and you are powerless to refuse. You give Beck a little nod, like, hey, take care of these kids. Beck doesn't nod back because he's a dog, but you like to think he understands. Oh yeah, that's right, Beck can send them back home. Duh. As you quietly slip down the staircase and out of sight, you spare one last glance at the group and find a sigh escaping your lips. Everything that's happened here feels almost too good to be true. Can it last? Can this brazen wish fulfillment go unpunished? You find that hard to imagine. There's something fate touched about these kids. You can feel it in your bones. As surely as the wind whispers through the trees or the stars dance through space, as surely as the turning clocks will call the sunlight back again, these kids will never be free of the bullshit that hounds them. But right here, right now, they are at peace. They have shared this one perfect moment together, and perhaps in the future, there will come more betwixt the chaos. And maybe that's enough. It's so cute and so good. Yes, the nails. Yeah, there's a lot to notice about this end screen, which I made my fucking wallpaper. That was my fucking computer wallpaper. Yeah. So Rose is doing John's nails, and John seems to be enjoying it, which of course a lot of people are very happy about because June Egbert, boy. And then Dave and Jade sharing their fucking furry Uzis. Dave's fucking aquat permusk that he mentions when he's talking to Nepeta that one time. Oh my god. Look at that butt. That is... And where is that tail coming from? That's not where tails are supposed to come from, Dave. What the fuck? And Jade's little, it's like, it's basically a dog, but it's got her hair and is wearing her glasses. Like, Junro's very good. Yes. Oh my god. Dave knows what he's about. But it's just like, God, this was so good. And it's like, yeah, okay, so like the shit's gonna hit the fan because it always hits the fan. And, you know, we've got, you know, trolls approaching on the horizon. As of today, about a week and a half till we get the first troll volume. Or they could decide to hop into the Alpha Kids, but I really don't think that's the way they're going. I think we're definitely getting the trolls first. But yeah, this shit's so good. Like, you know, they refer to it in the end. It's like brazen wish fulfillment. And it's like, yeah, this is basically fan service. But like, so what? You know what? It's good. It's good shit. It made me very fucking happy. If it were a fanfic, you'd leave it here and you wouldn't want them to suffer. Well, this is being put together by, like, the actual official folks. Which reminds me, the last link I had to share was this tweet from James Roach, who said, "Now that you've had your feel-good moment of catharsis with Volume 4, I hope you're prepared for the inevitable sinking feeling of now having something to lose." Hey! So, God. I mean, like, yo, we're on Volume 4 out of 14. Like, the shit has to hit the fan at some point. But, where was it down here? Oh, yeah. I'm an Alpha Kid stan. I have nothing more to lose. And then James Roach just went, "Oh, damn, you sure?" I love this. This is, I love all the fucking memes of Jade holding up her gun. Say psych right now. God. Like, I'm just as excited to see what happens when the shit hits the fan. Like, I have no desire to leave it right here because I'm excited to, like, I'm excited to see what more of the plot there is, right? Like, this was candy heavy. This was pure fucking candy. And we about to get smacked upside the head with some goddamn T-bone fucking steak in the next volume, I swear. It is coming. It does feel very final. Like, that's the thing, right? But it's like the end of the beginning, you know? Like, they've set it up. They've set up the basic premise of where the kids are at without Spurb. So we have those puzzle pieces. And now moving forward to the trolls, we're like, well, what the fuck is happening with the trolls? Because the kids' session isn't there. How's their session gonna go? Are they, you know, like, what's going on with that? So, because I mean, there were a lot of questions as to, like, who would affect what, because it's like they need to have played the game in order for themselves to exist in the first place. So by very nature of the fact that they don't play the game in this timeline and they still exist, that's like contradictory shit, right? So that's like, other people are like, oh, well, does that mean the Alpha Kids don't exist? Does that mean da-da-da-da-da? Because John makes them, right? But, yeah, I'm really interested to see where they're going with it. I'm excited for the shit to hit the fan, because with Homestuck, when the shit hits the fan, it is always fucking brilliant. Like, it's some good fucking shit. It's, I love everything about this so much. Although, yeah, I don't want the epilogues to be super relevant to this. Like, I'm not a fan of the epilogues being relevant to this, because that was not my shit. That was like, but anyway, babbling on and on, what's happening in chat? I mean, like, here's the thing with Dirk freaking out because his whole plan is ruined. I don't think that's gonna happen, because, like, this didn't erase the Alpha timeline. This is a separate timeline that MSPA Reader has jumped into. Like, he's created a different, you know what I mean? So the actual events of Homestuck, like, that should all still happen. All the things anything that could have led to the Dirk scenario, all that stuff still happened, but that's separate. This is, like, not directly connected to that stuff. You know, like, we get the part, yeah, because there's the part where, jump into an even different timeline to meet the Alpha Kids. I mean, like, it's, because, like, there's it's weird, because there's the part where where you're in the first route with John, where you see that one chapter from Meet, right? But anything that we're doing doesn't stop that from happening, so then that wouldn't, like, Dirk only really, in the epilogues, is concerning himself with what is true, relevant, and essential, so to speak, and this timeline is not true, so to speak, at the very least, which is kind of the most important one, right? Is that how the theory goes? Everything is both canon and not canon. Yeah, it's like, oh, God, sometimes the theoretical stuff just gives me a fucking headache, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try. Oh, boy. Anyway. Let me get back to that game. Okay. When nothing is canon, everything is. Yeah, it's a real weird fuzzy line. So taking a look at our Chumroll. So for whatever reason, all of my results from the first 2 volumes, like, disappeared after the Dave update. No, but they were there before. It was after the Jade update. It erased these ones, but it didn't erase this. I don't know. If it keeps doing stuff like this, I'm just going to wait until the whole thing is done, and then I'll do a quick speed go through of them all, just in case it keeps, like, messing around. Anyway, our little Chumroll accomplishment for Jade: the happiest girl in the world. You and Jade hosted the world's greatest slumber party. The lack of apocalypse was your favorite part. Very cute. And the credits. So, let's see. David Turnbull. We knew that from a while before the first volume came out even. It was David Turnbull on the writing for this one. Fucking phenomenal. Character artist, we have Brea Rivera back with Jade, who also did Rose's sprites. And backgrounds, Courtney Brundle, who also did Rose's. Okay. And ending illustrations, same, Courtney Brundle. Musicians. Alright, so Jade's theme: James Roach, Feet Speak and Say, Carefree Victory Remix. And game design programming, David Turnbull, of course, did the programming for the volume that he wrote. And there's all the copyright stuff, and that's, yeah, that is that. Boy, it is a full half-hour overtime. I knew this was going to go overtime, though. This was a really long route. Super worth it, though. Super worth it. That whole, like, that just, like, it made me so indescribably happy to see them all together, getting together and interacting, and just, having that dynamic, being close friends, meeting each other without the weight of the trauma from the game, because even once they get into the game, they don't meet each other in a physical sense for so long, right? And even then, it's under all of these, like, stressful, traumatic circumstances of, like, needing to accomplish things for the game, right? Like, Cascade? Fucking Cascade was the first time that John and Jade met physically. Ever. Like, you stepped out of the shower. Yeah. Ready for what the day brings. Well, I have to go do homework because, oh dear. But, oh shit, my D&D group is changed to Saturdays because, like, during the day because of scheduling issues. So, I have to, like, go to D&D tomorrow, and now I'm like, oh fuck. Should probably sleep, but I also have homework to do. Ew. But anyway, yeah, Cascade was the first time that they met, like, physically in person, you know, and it was under those, like, traumatic, stressful circumstances, right? And, like, ooh, you also know D&D, nice. What other, like, I don't think that John and Dave meet physically in person until on the fucking lily pad, like, after the 3-year journey and all that. Like, God, but it's just them, and they're, like, it's so sweet. It's so much fucking candy, but it's, like, it's so good. It's that good shit. Thank you, David Turnbull, for blessing us with that. It was just a fucking feel-good fest, and I love it. And but I'm also looking forward to when the shit hits the fan. So, all right. First time meeting up in forever. See if your halfling is still running from the cops. Oh God. You think Grimbark Jade meets Dave before that? Right. Yeah, like, it's just, they all, just the game, just fuck, God, but, makes me very happy. It's just so fucking cute, God. Alright, yeah, it is time for, well, I'll probably force myself to do some fucking homework, but, yeah. That is that for now. So tomorrow evening, we are back to Dream Daddy. We have one last second date to do, and it is with Brian. You have school shit to do. Yeah, I have things that I really need to finish today. But yes, we have that one last second date. It's with Brian. We're going to be coming right back to that tomorrow, and then we'll be finished with the second dates. Woo! Indeed. Alright. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you had as wonderful as a time as I did. Yeah. Wonderful. Fingers crossed. I will be seeing you all right back here tomorrow for Dream Daddy. We finishing that shit up. Let's go. Alright. Have a lovely rest of your day. Fingers crossed I'll be seeing you all right back here. And from my end of things, that is good night.